It's time for that journey down memory lane once again, where me and a few buddies discuss some of our favourite video game memories, whether it be gaming memories from our childhood or adulthood, a deep emotional connection, or something straight up funny. Let's take a look at what memories we have to share today. And I'll kick things off with Soul Calibur 3. Now, I have a deep connection with this game, from its introduction of character creator and the side content that followed it being just really fun and helped me through a tough time. But that's not my favourite memory of this game, no. My favourite memory from this game correlates to me being a horny kid. Ah, Pat, you're probably thinking, you're going to talk about Ivy. And while she was definitely a part of the horny within me, like the first time I saw her, a surge erupted through my body that as a child I just couldn't fathom. The really horny part came from the shop clerk, where you could get stuff for your created character in Chronicles of the Sword mode. Me and my cousin found out if you enter and exit the shop menu really fast, you can make her boobies jiggle so much, and it's hilarious. It's just pure gas, I love it so. Like, it's such a silly thing, and we just busted our heads laughing uncontrollably. And every time I pop in Soul Calibur 3, you bet I do this to the poor shopkeeper, and it still makes me chuckle. It's such a small detail in the grand scheme of things, but it's just something that always pops into my head at random intervals throughout my life, and brings me joy. Like, as I was writing this up and even recording it now, I have the stupidest grin spread across my face, and it's all because of jiggly boobies. And that's one of my favourite memories in gaming, from bringing laughter and joy to me at so many points in my life, as well as spurring the sexual awakening within my soul, and helping me understand it a lot more, because Catholic schools don't help out in that department. Anywho, on to a buddy to talk about their gaming memories.
The memory that comes to mind for me has to be the first time that I played Shadow of the Colossus in 8th grade. I was in love with cinema growing up, and this was around the time that widescreen on DVDs was becoming common. I have just seen movies like No Country for Old Men and Children of Men. The former was using minimal dialogue for its main character, and the latter having some infamous one-take shots. Now, if you've played Shadow of the Colossus, you'll know where I'm going with this, because as a 13-year-old loving cinema, this game broke the video game medium wide open for me. A game that could be played in widescreen with minimal expositional dialogue, with cinematic moments that you were in control of. It was the first game I had ever played that really showed me that games could be artful and mature, that games weren't just appealing to the lowest common denominator, and that they could reach the upper echelons of art. I mean, the music and the atmosphere was unrivaled at the time, and the gameplay didn't even suffer. The fluid movement of the Wanderer set a whole new bar of character animation in my mind. They even properly animated his horse's run cycle, which a lot of games were struggling with at the time. Overall, it's a pivotal moment in me coming to see games as more than just games and more like art, and possibly surpassing certain limitations of cinema. Shadow of the Colossus made me fall in love with games in a whole new way. Rather than just being entertained, it showed me that games could inspire and set your mind to wonder.
Hey guys, Azza the Ace here. Just a possible trigger warning. What I'm about to talk about explains one of the many hard times I went through in life. I went through something emotionally intense, and know that I didn't have a great support system around me, which affected my mental health. So a few months after I graduated high school in 2009, I ended up dating someone who, now that I think about it, I don't know what I saw in him. I won't go into details, but to sum it up, he was a terrible person who used me. He even made out with my best friend. Well, now ex-best friend, after finding out she was going to do the exact same thing to my current partner of now almost 11 years. Being the coward he was, he broke up with me over text and saying his best friend dislikes me, which I found out later from said best friend, who had no idea until he asked why I wasn't talking to him. He told me that was a load of bull. He loves me and that he hated what his so-called best friend was doing to me. This wonderful guy gradually helped me leave this toxic friendship relationship altogether. while messing with my ex's mind in the process. Anyway, because of that, me being 18 was completely heartbroken and didn't eat or sleep for 4 days. If I remember correctly, this went on for 148 hours. I was a mess and in a really bad place as my mental health crumbled. To my surprise, my mum got me Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, not knowing I was broken up with, and I just knew this is what I needed. I wasn't just hooked on the game, I was feeling the same emotions, feeling like a nobody, losing trust and friends time and time again, feeling excluded my entire life with people not letting me in. I was, and kinda still am, an outsider looking in, even when it came to family. All because of the big fat stigma everyone has placed on me. All because I have a few disabilities in which they never wanted to accept and understand. In a way, I felt related to Rox's story and even what Shion went through, as well as Axel, in the sense of trying to fight for friendships and relationships. I didn't want to lose anyone for absolutely no reason. Because of this game, I was eating and sleeping again. I learned quite a bit from its story, and it saved me from the worst case scenario if I kept walking on this dark, unhealthy path. Lastly, just an honorable mention. The other one I had in mind was Kingdom Hearts 2, as it's my favorite Kingdom Hearts game, and it was because of this game I got a really high score in my final Year 12 high school exams for English. All because of the theme of belonging, funny enough. Didn't think they would give me high marks for bringing myself into the essay, as well as using Kingdom Hearts references. Overall, the Kingdom Hearts series is very memorable to me in the sense that it has helped me get through life and live by a variety of its quotes. One memorable quote I always bring up is, "If you have a dream, don't wait, act." One of life's little rules. Got it memorized? A quick fun fact. I mentioned this memorable quote when I was on TV 9 years ago exactly for a mental health segment on a show called Good Game. Thank you again, Frames, for inviting me to this collab. I'm Azza the Ace, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.
You guys ever feel like there's an Irishman whispering in your ears telling you to do things? I do. Do the thing. That sounds nice. Pick a fond memory from gaming. Oh man, I've been pontificating for days on this, haven't I? That's it. I'll do a reel, of course. And when it stops, I'll pick that game to talk about. Alright, honey, stop it.
And, the mechanism to stop it isn't working. It's jammed. It won't stop it.
What do you mean it's broken and isn't working?
Don't yell at me. I didn't cause this. You know what? I'm out. Goodbye.
Huh, maybe I'll pick this game that made me say words that I've never thought I'd say before. Honestly, it's something new too. Well, not new, it's kinda old. And no, it's not you. You get out of here. You're cursed. Now! You know what? I'll just use a reel. That'll do it. And it looks like... we've landed on... oh, that one's a good one. I guess I'll start where the joke starts, right? So I was sitting with my younger cousin, and Nemesis burst through the wall in on Jill, and he starts having a panic attack. And I go, what's the problem? I knew he was coming, man. Didn't you hear the Britannic music playing in the background? Then my younger cousin goes, what am I on about? And I told him, wouldn't it be funny if Nemesis was British and just wants to go on a nice date with Jill? And we just went with it from there, you know? Whether Nemesis was chasing Jill through the streets or in a building, one of us would go, ma'am, could I have a moment of your time, please? Just one moment, please. I'd like to have a date with you. If it's alright, please, this isn't harassment or anything. I'm a real nice guy. I'm also really into dogs. Which is a joke on him turning into a dog later on down in the series, in the game, when he's chasing down Jill. Jill finally did fall in love with him later on, when he started turning into a blob. Being like, oh, he's the perfect ideal man. I don't know why we went with, the blob being the perfect ideal British man for Jill, but we went with it. Honestly, I think one of us said she caught Stockholm Syndrome at the end, being like, I can't live without this man anymore. Don't know why Jill is also British all of a sudden, but you know.
Hey everyone, what up? Matt Kaiser here, and thanks to Pat from Frames for allowing me to be in this collab. It was an absolute honor, and honestly I'm just glad to be here and see what other people's gaming memories are. Now, I think it's time to talk about my gaming memories, and if I had to pick one that truly stuck out to me, it would have to be Transfomers Fall of Cybertron. Now, back when that game came out, of course, I was a massive Transformers fan. Like, I watched a ton of their shows, as well as even watched some of the movies, even though I know that Bayformers movies aren't that great. But obviously, Transformers War and Fall of Cybertron made me appreciate on how much big I was into Transformers, and how made me just, appreciate the series a lot more. And honestly, Fall of Cybertron was definitely the game I wanted to get, other than the fact that I was absolutely amazed by War for Cybertron. And when I played that game when it came out on the Xbox 360, I was truly enamored on how good it was, on how it improved upon War for Cybertron's issues and the things it did well, and just made it all better in Fall of Cybertron. From the improved visuals, to the refined gunplay and gameplay in general, to the absolute amazing and emotional story that truly even brought me to tears at one point. Like, oh my god. Not only that, but the music was amazing, and just being able to play as more different characters like Cliff Jumper, Jazz, Swindle, and Vortex, for example, was just an absolute blast. But obviously the real highlights for Fall of Cybertron was of course the two game selling points, which is of course, Bruticus and Grimlock being playable characters. And oh my god, were they so much fun. Being able to play as both the combiner of the Combaticons and the leader of the Dinobots was absolutely just thrilling, and it was awe-inspiring. It was completely mind-blowing at the time, and I think it still is phenomenal even to this day on how much their gameplay styles differ from the other playable characters, since they don't go for the whole gunplay, instead go for more pure close combat melee destruction, being just two behemoths destroying everything in your path in the most satisfying and epic way possible. Honestly, this game in general was just a massive treat for us Transformers fans, and something that we would remember fondly, even after when Activision obviously delisted the games digitally, and they took the service down, though thankfully some fans have brought the service back online, which is a blessing. And honestly, yeah, overall this was just an absolutely amazing game. Anyway, thank you Pat from Frames for having me here, and until then, Mad Kaiser out.
And that's all the memories for today. From helping us through hard times, giving us a greater appreciation of the art and craft, or just giving us a good old laugh. These memories are an important part of us, and I love that we can share them like this. Also, make sure to go and follow my friends here who helped make this video something special. They're great lads and lassies and good crack. You'll find their info in the description below. And if you guys have any gaming memories to share, please do. I love hearing them. Or if you'd like to share them in one of these videos, let us know. And until next time, take her handy guys.